All right, guys, he is, well, some say long hair, calm blue eyes, and Caucasian, right? Everybody has, or your grandparents might have had that picture. You know that picture? You know the picture I'm talking about. He's the most painted figure in all of Western art. But what did Jesus really look like? New research by historian Joan Taylor suggests a different version of the religious figure. This discussion is going to go on until we're all not here. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who knows? Mm-hmm. But let's talk about what those who have said they know think.
Yeah, what she said, while she admits that we will never know for certain, she says his features would have been Jewish and he would have had olive skin, dark hair, and brown eyes. She says to get an idea of Jesus' visage, Taylor turned to archaeology and texts that provide clues about the general appearance of Jews in Judea and Egypt at the time Jesus lived. She also looked at artistic images on coins and Egyptian mummy paintings.
That's what we're used to. Shauna, can I see the image you had before? Yeah, that's what he looked like in the Passion of Christ. There's a picture before that I've never really ever seen.
The one before with the thorn?
There's somebody on the right-hand side. There are two pictures, a split screen. When you get back there. All right, so according to Taylor's research, rather than towering over others in Judea, Jesus would have been about 5, that one. So we're saying that Jesus would be, she's saying that's what he would look like on the right, Sean? Yeah, based on olive skin, short hair, see? And this impression by anthropologist Richard Neve shows how a typical man from the time and place Jesus lived would have looked like. So, Taylor says Jesus would have been about 5 feet 5 inches, or the average height seen in skeletal remains from males there at that time. People in Judea and Egypt tended to have brown eyes, black hair, and olive brown skin. Yeah. So she goes on, there was interaction between Judea and people from Europe who could have lighter skin, as well as Sudan and Ethiopia who could have had darker skin. But because Jews in Judea and Egypt tended to marry amongst themselves at the time, Jesus' skin, eyes, and hair probably looked like those of the majority of the people in Judea and Egypt.
Was his hair long? Did he have a beard? These are the questions that a lot of people are asking. If he had even slightly long hair, we would expect some reaction. She says Jewish men who had unkempt beards and were slightly long-haired were immediately identifiable as men who had taken a Nazirite vow. This meant they would dedicate themselves to God for a period of time, not drink wine or cut their hair, and at the end of this period they would shave their heads in a special ceremony in the Temple of Jerusalem. Wow. But Jesus did not keep a Nazirite vow because he's often found drinking wine. Would he have worn a robe?
Almost every picture we've seen has him in a white robe. At the time of Jesus, wealthy men donned long robes for special occasions to show off their high status in public. In one of Jesus' teaching, he says, beware of the scribes who desire to walk in long robes and to have salutations in the marketplaces and have the most important seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at the banquets. The sayings of Jesus are generally considered the more accurate parts of the gospel, so from this we can assume that Jesus really did not wear such robes. Overall, a man in Jesus' world would wear a knee-length tunic called a chiton, and a woman an ankle-length one, and if you swapped these around, it was a statement at the time.
Richard Neve, who is a medical artist retired from the University of Manchester in England, used forensic anthropology to recreate Jesus' face. Using Matthew's description of the events in Gethsemane as a clue, it is clear that Jesus' features were typical of Galilean Semites of his era. And so the first step for Neve was to acquire skulls from near Jerusalem, the region where Jesus lived, I suspect. He says with 3 well-preserved specimens from the time of Jesus in hand, Neve used computerized tomography to recreate Jesus' face.
Wow. So can we see the finished product? This is very interesting. It's all fascinating.
Who is there anywhere in the Bible, in any readings at all, that says this person says so him look like, or why so?
I don't know if there's a specific.
Yeah, why that look?
That's a question I was going to ask, because that's the most frequent one I've seen.
Is the one on the right what Mr. Neve came up with?
It would seem so.
He said yes. Shauna said yes. So he's saying from what his work, that's what he thinks Jesus looks like.
It's so different from what we've come to know and think. But I have another question for you. Do we care?
No.
Should we care?
Well, I mean, if it is possible to get it right, then yeah, you want to get it right. But after 50 million thousand years, I wonder if, because some people have come right out. I think Benji was telling us, and I think I heard him say that Louis Farrakhan he's come out, but he's from the Nation of Islam, but he's come out and said that Jesus was a black man. I don't know. Well, to answer your question, it would be good if we could find out for sure. Some people don't even think
I'm thinking if we can have poor people in high esteem on social media, we have no idea who they are, what they look like, really? Yeah. Whoa. Would that be Jesus? And some people think Jesus look like that? Jesus been lifting some weights. Because
I don't know if you guys remember an interview Sim and I did on was it Friday with Mr. Henriquez?
Yes.
And the Jews don't see Jesus, they see God. They don't believe in the Trinity. So we say in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. They see God, so they don't even believe that there's a Jesus.
Man, believe, kill, and cure, yeah, man.
What does God look like?
Good question. He doesn't look like anything. He's a spirit.
He's a supreme being.
So he's omnipotent. He's everywhere at all times. So he's a...
It's interesting.
I'm telling you.
I guess we will never find out.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Faith. That's really all you need to have. What does your faith look like? That's what you need to talk to. You believe in something, you hold fast to something. I guess it really does not really matter what that person might look like.
You're right. And again, we did an interview with he lectures at the... Remember he said, when we were saying, when was Jesus born? And he said, it doesn't matter. Remember?
It was a while back. You used at the theological seminar.
And we were saying, oh, you know, said Jesus born when everybody said born. And he said, it really don't matter. But you can't just decide, say, well, I am November 10th. But maybe we don't celebrate never birthday in April. That kind of don't make sense.
It kind of matters because it is the source of a lot of...
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about this off air, about religion.
Yeah.
And the fact that it brings people together, but it also is very paradoxically very divisive because of so many different things that so many different people believe.
But where we say he was born is the reason Christmas is so important. And the fact that yesterday the amount of messages I got, he is risen, because that is even more important, because he died for us. So the fact that he came back is brilliant. So it is something that we could talk about for a long time.
Yeah, and there will be people who will be here telling us there is no such thing. So the discussion could go on forever.
All right, so do you believe in miracles? Well, we get your feedback in our social media talk back after the break.
Miracles!